What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. And it is busy in Empires and Puzzles land today. Enough events to freaking, I don't know what. Honestly, there's so many events going on today. It's absolutely mental. And the costume summon. So we are going to smash into the glass portal because we have two amazing heroes. They are both slow speed, but we're going to call them the glass cannons. I know that's kind of a contradiction in terms, but these two heroes are very close to my heart, at least the featured ones. I mean, the other ones, we've got the 4-star heroes. I'm not sort of waiting for incredible things, although I did use Hu Tao for a very long time, initially starting out the game. This dude's a bit of a we'll have a look at him. And then the 3 stars, nothing to write home about. Maybe Fry Attack, the best from the bunch. But the 5-star heroes are insane. Both of them slow heroes, but Khagan is an absolute beast. And if his glass costume is anything to follow the tune, which is over here, which is really good, and I've been using it all the time, then we are in for a treat. And Isarnia is extremely close to my heart because she was the very first ever vanilla 5-star hero that I pulled from this entire game. And she definitely carried me through a lot. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have your vanilla hero. I'm sure you can relate. Let me know in the comments who your vanilla hero was, who carried you through for the first however long you were playing Empires and Puzzles. I think Isarnia was like my hard carry for like a year and a half. Before I managed to get my roster built. So yeah, she's definitely close to my heart. So who are we going to start with? I think we're going to go with my boy Khagan. Genghis Khan looking mofo. And yeah, we'll have a, we'll sort of go over the card, but the main thing I want to see is that, because we already know Khagan, is this better than the Toon version? Where are we in terms of stats and power creep? And whether you're going to use these glass costumes on attack, defense, what's the best use going to be for them for you guys? So starting off, he is of course a ranger class hero. That hasn't changed. He is a ranger in his original version and in the Toon version as well. So all good there. So far as stats, I am going to just double check this, but I mean, 1241 on the team power is just crazy. We can see the Toon bonuses are up to 75% on the attack, defense, and 78% on the health, and 5% on the mana bonus. It's just mental. I mean, go into the Solstice summon, look at these two heroes that have just been released. I mean, these guys are as powerful as you like, 1213. And then you go into the costume portal and yeah, 1241. Like, you've got a more powerful hero than the most recently released heroes in the game. And that is why I keep banging on about this. For players who are, struggling against meta teams and things like that, and wondering what is a good portal for you guys to summon in, it is this one. All of the costumes for all of the glass heroes, the 5 stars in this portal, are incredible. And stats wise, they are going to be very relevant. Also, the legendary featured hero in costume is 1.3%. Legendary hero in costume that's not featured is 1.2%. But that gives you a 2.5% overall chance to summon a legendary hero. And all of them, like I say, every single one, whether you get the Toon or whether you get the glass, they will serve you really well. Anyways, back to the main event. So Khagan, stats are incredible, and I definitely recommend grabbing the Toon heroes. With the limit breaks and emblems just going absolutely through the roof. He gets the special skill armor on his ether talent. So at the start of the battle, he gets 40% defense against special skills for 6 turns. Same as the Toon version. So all good there. And then the passive, he gets the glass passive. So it's a 60% chance to reflect status elements back to the attacker. I've said how I feel about this. I really don't think that it's as strong on defense as the Toon passive. If you look at that, 75% chance to resist status ailments, mana reductions, and buff dispels. The only thing you're losing out on is a reflect, and it's really not that incredible. For offense, potentially you want to take these heroes if they do have the glass heroes, if they do have an extra bit of a skill attached. Right, it's worth mentioning the family bonus. So the classic family bonuses for stacking up to 4 of these heroes on your, sorry, 2, 3, 4, or 5 heroes on your team. You will get increase on the attack, defense, and healing. Like you need it. You just don't. Anyways, yeah. And they also get the superior talent. So at class level 20, he'll get the superior master pierce, which is a 60% chance to bypass buffs. And then the target gets bleed damage and negative defense as well. So yeah, the superior talents, everything else that these guys, that they've added into the portal for these guys just makes them so usable. I know a lot of people have caught on probably well before me, but I'm definitely coming around bit by bit to this. It's a lot of leveling, though. That's one thing. When you do level up one of these heroes, you have to level about 10 costumes. Anyways, he runs at slow speed. His special skill is called Vitriol's Order. Vitriol's? It was the Toon's Order in the one we're interested about. Deals 540% damage to the target nearby enemies. The attack bypasses defensive buffs. That's very useful because he is extremely susceptible to counterattack. So now he's going to have a guaranteed bypass, which is awesome. And then the caster and nearby allies get plus 23% mana generation for 5 turns and plus 62% defense for 5 turns. Let's compare that here. We're down a little bit on the attack, so from 540 to 530 on this one. Also down on the mana generation, and also slightly down on the defense, interestingly enough. But he does this one deal extra damage against nature. So with the added bypass, I can't see of any situation where it would be better to use the Toon version than it would the glass version, even if you're taking him on defense, because that bypass is annoying. Like, a lot of people will go up against him, they'll forget about it, they'll throw counterattack up. A lot of heroes do that, even minions and stuff like that, and they'll wonder why it's not working. It's because he's bypassing that. And that 540% damage hit with an attack stat of nearly 1900, which I never ever in a million billion years thought I'd see, is going to leave some bruises. So you got yourself a good one. If you do manage to snag Khagan, the glass version, then humongous congrats to you. Let's move over to our other hero that is featured, which is, of course, the lovely lady Isarnia. Okay, so Isarnia is, like I said, she was pretty much my first ever hero that she was my first ever legendary hero that I summoned in the game. She's very, very useful for a few reasons, especially useful in Rush, but that defense down is incredible, and it lasts for such a long period of time. She deals a boatload of damage, and she also benefits from the superior talent. So we'll go over her in a bit more detail for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. I hate the glass art, like, honestly, like, she just looks so much better there, doesn't she? Some of them are all right, but yeah, this is it's a bit tacky. Anyways, she gets the same family bonuses, so we won't go over those all again. She gets the same glass passive with a chance to reflect, so we won't go over that all again. In terms of stats, looking at the max power here, I mean, look at that, 2101 attack. Are you serious now? Just through the roof in terms of the attack stat. This is down the left-hand side of the talent grid, so of course you can do what you want, but I would set it up just as they have it here because that's a humongous attack stat. So at slow speed, Isarnia is going to be dealing 395% damage to all enemies. Look at that, the original 235. My, how times have changed. That's nearly 400% damage to all enemies. It's 10% up on the Toon version, and all enemies will get, the attack bypasses defensive buffs. Let's not forget about that. So she's dodging out the counterattack, and then all enemies get negative 40% defense for 6 turns. So we're up by 6% on the defense, down 10% on the damage, and obviously she loses out on the extra damage against fire, but she does get the bypass. So again, I'm going to say go with it. Just freaking go with it. And honestly, when you level up this hero, she gets the superior Jinx, which is probably one of my favorite things about her as well. And if you don't know, Then when dealing damage through normal attacks and special skills, there's a 50% chance to deal extra damage per buff. But before dealing the damage, the following effect is also activated. She dispels all active buffs from the target before damage is dealt. And that's a lot of a mouthful, but basically what it means is that she can dispel using tiles. So that is incredible if you need to get rid of a barrier over a target. Yes, she does have the bypass, but it sets up the rest of your team to where they can take that target out as well. And with that amount of damage and that humongous attack stat, you're definitely going to be taking some people out, I can tell you. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Isarnia. I think she's going to be an absolutely incredible new hero. She's just incredible. Looks amazing. If you don't like the look of her, just save her in this version in your portal. Have something more pleasant to look at in your roster than this mess. But yeah, I mean, she's great. She's really, really great. It's either going to be the Toon or the Glass version, but to me, I think the Glass version wins out. So huge congrats if you do manage to get her. Please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new version of Isarnia and also Khagan. I know we do have the 4 stars featured in the portal as well. But like I said, to be honest, I really don't hold out a lot for the 4 stars that are featured this time round. So Hu Tao's a pretty basic hit all. The bypass is nice and he gives negative accuracy, which is okay. But again, he doesn't hit that hard. It's 245%. And then Kashrik has a health recovery just for the caster and nearby. And then he increases defense against nature, but and it says they reflect stacks and ailments, but he reflects them anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't really look at leveling either of the 2 4 stars. Greymane's another example of one I really wouldn't. Is just a damage to the target, and then it's a bypass, and he heals himself for about half the damage dealt. It's just not worth it. He's selfish. Stay away from him. There's better 3 stars. This dude, if you do pull him, I'd probably consider him. He's decent. He gives a health recovery for himself and the nearby. And then he gets him and nearby get 15% mana generation. And then they reflect the negative status elements. But again, it's a heal for himself and nearby. And to be honest, I do think that we've got better options at the 3-star level across the board in terms of healers. But yeah, he'd be one of the better ones from the portal. But both of the featured 5 stars, absolutely incredible. So like I said before, let me know what you guys think of them. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, share it with your mother, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.